wala naman sa tara na wag na magpabago pa. Dahil ito na nga ang umpisa. Ang Pilipinas ay babago na. Dahil hindi magpapapigil kaya lahat ng mga Pilipino ay binati.
Mabuhay ang Pilipinas! Mag-inay tayo para sa ating susunod na Vice-Presidente ng Pilipinas!
BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Tara halina magkaisa para sa isang lihin. Lahat ng makabongbong Sara, itaas ang kamay at wag na wag kayong mabahala. Hindi na to panaginip at hindi na rin akala. Silang dalawa'y nagsama para base sumagkakaya. Ano pa ang hinihintay? Tayo magsama-sama para sa ating tagumpay. Magkakaroon na tayo ng maunlad na buhay. Dahil si Bongbong at Sara sa bisyo ay tunay. Ikaw ay aming iniimbita. Halika na tayo magkaisa. Gusto mo na bang umulit ang masaya? Para na wag na magpapalit pa.
Bagong Margot Jr.
Lahat ng mga Pilipino ay binatina. BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Tara halina magkaisa para sa isang mithin. BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Tara halina magkaisa para sa isang mithin. BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Tara halina magkaisa para sa isang mithin. BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Tara halina magkaisa para sa isang mithin. BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara, BBM Sara. Halina magkaisa para sa isang mithin.
Price ceiling on regular and well-milled rice. To give us more details on this, we have with us the Department of Agriculture Bureau of Plant Industry Director Gerald Glenn Panganiban. Good afternoon, Director Panganiban.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead with the briefing.
Okay. Yeah, just to brief the media on what happened this morning. We presented the status of our compliance to the EO39, and indicators point that there are decreasing prices observed in market from our implementation starting last month until today. And then we are expecting an increased supply of our local harvest coming this last quarter for October, November, and the rest of the year. And favorable factors externally has been reported. A drop in the export prices of rice in the global market has also been reported. So that's about it. And we are expected, the DA and DTI, to have collaborations in order to further monitor and survey the prices so that it will not again increase drastically. So that's what we are doing, and we are working with all agencies of the government, not only the DA, but also the DTI and DILG to implement whatever measures and guidelines we can do so that the consumers and of course our stakeholders, the farmers, will also be benefited.
Okay. Before we get to the questions, maybe we could talk about the graphic that we're posting.
Yeah, okay. So for September, of course, it's already done. For October, as I mentioned, we are expecting almost 1.9 million metric tons of rice for this month. So that will jump our days to last, or our supply of rice, to 74 days. It increased from 52 last September. So because we're expecting a more bumper harvest for the coming October and November, the public can expect that we will have a stable supply of our main staple.
Okay. Chona Yu, Radio Inquirer.
So, sir, good morning. Good morning. Sir, lifted na po ba ang EO39?
As of now, not yet. But again, that's why we met, the DA and the DTI, as well as the sectoral council met, so that we can recommend. And the President will be the one who will be deciding on it.
Maricel Halili, TV5.
Hi, sir. Magandang tanghali po. So, sir, how soon do we expect the lifting of the price ceiling?
Since we already have those indicators ready, and I cannot say the duration, but the indications point to that. So we will just keep you updated as soon as there will be a decision.
But, sir, you mentioned kanina na since nung in-implement yung EO last month, up until now, nagkaroon na ng decrease of prices.
Yeah.
Can you give us a rough estimate as to how much yung
Yeah.
decrease ng prices average?
Yeah, we were at the start of the implementation. There's always concerns about these changes, but as we monitored, 80 to 90% compliance ang ating mga retailers sa price cap na inilagay, 41 for the regular and 45 for the well-milled. So, yun nga, nag-increase yung compliance natin, and then we have seen, or we have received the reports from our regional offices, our Phil Rice Institute about our bumper harvest coming. So, we expect yun nga, yung stable supply, and hopefully makapag-decide na tayo on the price cap.
Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
Director, you mentioned prices are going down, but the EO on the price cap has yet to be lifted. So what are we waiting for? Ano ba yung mga circumstance na tinitignan pa ngayon that's, that are preventing you from finally lifting the policy?
Of course, all of the decisions that should be made should be with complete staff work. So we're just verifying, and so that we can be sure na kapag may decision na i-arrive ay talagang everyone would be benefiting from it.
But meron pa bang certain conditions that have yet to be achieved? That's why we are not yet lifting the policy.
Well, yung three basic indicators lang naman yung naibigay ko sa inyo. There are other indicators that may be considered. So let us just wait for this decision. Actually, ang DA and DTI and all other agencies of the government naman ay naandyan. While it's still being implemented, we are continuing with our support from the DA side to the farmers, from the production to the SWD and to the ILG and to other government agencies.
Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
Okay. Alan Francisco, PTV4.
Hi sir, good afternoon. I understand sir itong price cap. Ang sabi ng mga na-interview namin, talagang nakatulong para yung kanilang mabibiling presyo ng bigas ay kumbaga naka-budget na sa kanilang araw-araw. Aside from that sir, the implementation of price cap, ano pa po yung mga nagawa ng administrasyon sa Agriculture Department in particular sir?
Of course, from the budget itself, the DA almost doubled its budget. Simula nang umupo ang ating Pangulo bilang Department of Agriculture Secretary. So that means interventions on production support, on machineries, and of course, for credit and other inputs for agriculture. So that's why, as I mentioned earlier, tumaas ang ating projected harvest. And not only that, I think it's the first time that a president has exported or opened the gates for export, not only for domestic production, but ngayon nakakapag-export na tayo ng high-value crops natin, like durian at the start of the quarter of this year, mangoes, again, we opened a significant market for Australia, and ito lang, last weekend, itong avocado. So, not only yung domestic production mismo, but the earnings from the exports, I think that will already help. That's aside from the President being there, integrating all efforts of the government. Kung makikita nyo, itong price cap, isang example lang ito, kumbaga, nagtulong-tulong lahat, DTI, DILG, DSWD, so that not only the farmers ang ating bebenepisyohan, the same way with the consumers, kasi lagi namang binabalanse natin ito.
Sir, i-follow up ko lang. Before, when President visited in Palawan, he mentioned, particularly Metro Manila, kaya doon ipinatupad particularly yung price cap. So itong pag-decrease sir ng presyo ng bigas ay nationwide ba o particular sir sa Metro Manila?
Well, dito sa NCR, lagi naman dito yung hotspot kung may tataas ang presyo o bababa ang presyo. But actually, from the regional monitoring namin, may iba pang regions na mas mababa pa ang presyo. So, yun nga, nasasabi natin, it's not only from the production side that we are assisting our farmers and our stakeholders, but even nga dito sa marketing, meron tayong mga marketing platforms din para matulungan natin ang mga consumers natin na maka-access nitong murang bigas.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Pia Gutierrez, ABS-CBN.
Sir, on the part of the DA, with the indicators that have been reported, is the DA recommending the lifting of EO 39 to the President?
Yun ang yun yung indication from our parameters naman ay mukhang ready na. But of course, it's all upon the President to decide on it. Ang amin lang, ang focus namin, and this is the instruction of the President from day one, is to really support our farmers, the local produce. And again, for the third time, I'm mentioning, tumaas ang ating production, and that's because of the interventions that our President mandated to our agency. So lahat yun, not only for rice, but other staples, and yun nga, nasabi ko, high-value crops natin.
Sir, ganito na lang po. You reported, the DA reported na decreasing na nga po yung prices and we're expecting an increased supply from our local harvest. Does the DA still think that the implementation of the price cap is necessary at this point in time?
Nabanggit natin na yung price cap ay temporary lang. It was done to really arrest yung increasing prices at that time na it defied the logic kasi meron tayong supply. So ang atin lang, and this is again what the President wants, is really to have a stable supply. And that will translate to stable prices in the market. So kami sa DA, we continue with the production. I think the market will take care of itself. But at that point in time, again, temporary measure lang naman siya. So we will see kung anong magiging decision ng Presidente.
Okay. Tuesday New, DZBB.
Sir, follow-up lang para maging klaro sa aming lahat. Categorically speaking, sir, nirekomenda niyo na po ba kay Presidente na i-lift na yung EO39 o hindi pa?
Ang ano kasi natin, ma'am, dito is DA and DTI ang again, we recommend ang recommendation, of course, dahil nga dito sa ating mga indicators na ito, I think positive na maari, but ang akin lang, again, I cannot, hindi ko pwedeng pangunahan yung decision na yun. So
Ibig sabihin, sir, nirecommend nyo pero si Presidente ang magde-decide.
not yet. Hindi pa. Maghintay na lang muna tayo.
So hindi na, sir, walang recommendation yet?
Ito nga, pinakita namin. We presented it to the sectoral and it will be up.
So recommended, sir, na i-lift na. So recommended na, sir.
Well,
Nasa sa kanya na lang yung decision kung kailan.
Ano naman yan? Joint naman yan ng ating DTI.
Para lang malinaw, sir, baka mamaya. Sir, what was the reaction? Sorry.
No, there was a report. There was a report that's showing favorable factors. So we should
Hintayin na lang siguro
wait.
natin.
So yun na yun. Okay, thank you.
Eden Santos, Net 25.
Sir, good afternoon po. Kapag po ba na-lift na yung price cap na ngayon ay pinag-iisipan ng Pangulo kung kailan niya i-announce, mananatili pa rin ba yung presyo na 41 at 45 pesos na bigas or mas bababa pa po doon sa presyo na yon, yung presyo ng bigas since papasok na po yung maraming harvest?
Ngayon na nabanggit ko kanina, we will continue to monitor and survey yung prices sa market and the DA naman doon sa production side. Since meron tayong ina-expect na harvest this coming fourth quarter, and ayun nga, pagka meron tayong supply, edi stable ang ating prices. Kung maaari ay bumaba pa. So, yun ang ating inaano. But of course, that's the market that will work for you. But kami, the DA, the DTI will continue to monitor and survey para mapanatili natin o makalm natin yung mga agam-agam ng ating mga consumers na baka tataas dahil ganito, meron tayong again, itong season natin holiday season na darating.
Yun nga po, sir, ang pinapangambahan ng ating mga kababayan, kapag na-lift yung price cap, baka mawala na rin yung 41 at 45 pesos kahit na meron ng mga inaaning pala yung ating mga kababayan.
Ayun naman, ito naman ang aking ina-assure sa inyo. Yun nga, kausap lang namin ang DTI at kami ay nagka-come up ng mechanisms para magkaroon na halimbawa, ano ba talaga yung overpriced? 10% and above? Ano ba yung hoarding? Ilang araw ba nila yan ikikip, yung supply? So, naandyan na yan. We are just finalizing and of course, yun nga, yung enforcement natin, lalo pa natin paigtingin.
Okay. Sam Medinilla, Business Mirror.
Good afternoon, sir. Since tumataas na po yung supply ng rice ulit, nag-slow down na po ba ulit ang BPI sa pag-approve ng SPSIC for rice imports? At babalik na din po ba sa dati na hindi na kayo nag-i-issue ng SPSIC dahil sa pagpa-harvest na po?
Kami sa Bureau of Plant Industry, of course, meron kasi tayong Rice Tarification Act na talagang nag-liberalize dyan sa atin. But again, our support is always for the farmers. Whenever meron tayong harvest season na naandyan, we are trying to manage it. And sa katunayan, yung utilization naman ng SPSIC sa hindi naman lahat na i-utilize. So, maaring yung mga nire-report na mataas ang ating import masyado, we have to be critical din doon. Hindi naman porke na-issuehan, ganun na kaagad ang darating. So, I think kaya nagda-dial down din yung ibang mga nagre-report about the assumed assumed importation natin na masyadong malaki. Actually, ngayon, compared with last year, mas mababa ang ating ini-import. Kasi nga, ito, tumataas ang ating production ng ating palay.
Last na lang, sir.
Yeah.
Yung kanina po, yung sa meeting po, na-discuss rin po ba yung proposal ng mga economic manager na parang reduction sa tariff?
I cannot comment on that, kasi ang amin, more on the production, but on the tariff side, I may, maybe we can defer that to the proper authorities.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Alexis Romero, Philippine Star.
Director, any timeline as to when the government or the Marcos administration will decide on whether to lift the price ceiling on the rice?
Yan naman ang nasabi dun sa EO mismo, kapag yun nga,
So,
ready
kailan
na.
yung meeting kaya nung para mag-decide?
Hindi ko pa masabi yan kung kailan yan. But again, we are updating the Office of the President almost every day para naman mas maging dynamic at mas mabilis yung ating kung meron mang desisyon na kailangan gawin. Basta complete staff work ang ating gagawin before.
Tapos, Director, we're just curious, you mentioned 80 to 90% compliance. What happened to the 10 to 20%
Ayan, on
of
the average.
retailers?
On the average yun. Kasi yung iba naman talaga, to start with, hindi sila nagbebenta nun. Iba-iba kasi yung dynamics ng market. Yung iba, syempre, sa halip na magbenta sila, siguro hindi na sila nagbenta. Mostly, ang focus nila is special rice. So, but, ang atin naman dito is, I think mataas na yung compliance dito sa NCR, almost 95% ang amin nakita. So, on the average lang yon yung 90%. But mostly, and majority, is compliant with the said price cap. So, I think maganda yung naging effect ng ating EO39.
Alvin Baltasar, PBS.
Director, magandang tanghali po. Medyo list lang po ako ng konti. Because just recently, may mga napabalita na di umano, may napili na pong Agriculture Secretary. Napag-usapan po ba ito kanina and gaano po katotoo ito?
Wala po akong makukumpirma sa inyo. Hopefully not, dahil ang ating presidente, I think he's doing a great job in the helm of the department. Again, sinabi ko nga po sa inyo, kanina, yung first part of the year, nakapag-export tayo. Hanggang ngayon, nakapag-export na tayo ng 3 major commodities natin. And yung mga problema natin sa Department of Agriculture ay talaga pong hinaharap ng ating Pangulo. I think that's his difference from the predecessors. And him being in the helm, naandyan lahat i-integrate lahat ng efforts ng government. Hindi na po namin pwedeng sabihin sa DA na, ay, trabaho nito ni ganito o ni ganyan. Ganito po, kami po ay lahat ay nagko-collaborate ngayon. At even ito nga, kinakausap namin kayo dito sa media. Para tayo magtulong-tulong, Dahil, again, yung food security, hindi yan trabaho ng isang ahensya lang, but all of us. So, but with the President there, and with the support we're receiving from the Department of Agriculture, I think he's doing a great job.
Chona, you again, Radio Inquirer.
Sir, what will happen to the financial aid distribution if and when the President decides to lift the EO?
What do you
Tuloy
mean?
pa rin ba yung ayuda sa retailers?
Yun namang ating mga ayuda na ibinibigay. Hindi naman yan nalalayo sa ginagawa na ng ating mga ahensya, Yung Sustainable Livelihood Program, of course, yung sa amin sa department naman, for the interventions, tuloy-tuloy naman yun It is just, nag-ramp up lang siya dahil dito sa ating kailangang assistance ng ating mga stakeholders. So, again, ang ating Pangulo, laging support for local production, support for our consumers. So, I think, tuloy-tuloy lang ang magiging assistance natin.
Okay, Jean Mangaluz, Inquirer.net.
Sir, medyo segue po from rice. May internal probe po ba ngayon yung DABPI regarding the onion importation permits na na-issue nung January and August na hininga ng show cause order yung agency niyo from the House?
Yeah, we submitted that already to Congress, to the committee. And again, ang aming importation, it's based on again, scientific basis and on our supply and demand. So, hindi naman kami basta-basta nagbubukas ng importation. We always consider what the data shows and what the market also shows us. So, kailangan kasi lagi balanse. Laging yung for the farmers, our support, and then for our consumers naman, yung the right prices. So,
Pero sir, may investigation po ba sa loob ng agency kasabay nung sa House?
Lagi naman kaming ganon. Again, complete staff work lagi. Sa amin naman, wala naman kami itatago. We always report this to the Office of the Secretary, and we always coordinate with the AMAS and other agencies. Kasi again, hindi lang naman kami ang dito. Meron pa tayong mga production units sa regions, meron tayong pricing sa AMAS. So, yeah, we always talk about it. Yeah.
Okay, Nestor Corrales, Philippine Daily Inquirer.
Sir, Secretary Balisacan earlier said that the NEDA is set to recommend alternative measures to the rice price ceiling. Was this discussed earlier? And on the part of the Department of Agriculture and the Bureau of Plant Industries, what other options are you recommending or are you looking at in the event that this price cap is lifted so as to temper the rice prices in the market?
Kasi meron namang rice program. There's a rice program that's handling the production dito sa atin sa department, and we are always open to the whatever recommendations from our economic managers. Of course, we have to balance that with the actual things happening on the ground. Ano, we don't just report things to you na hindi namin na-verify. So with regards to your question about the alternatives, of course, increased production ang ating laging hinahanap dyan. Of course, aside from the physical expansion of areas for rice production, we are using drought-tolerant varieties and other varieties na mas malaki ang pwedeng maging production. Of course, we are establishing rice processing and post-harvest facilities. Of course, ito ay natulungan dahil yun nga, nadagdagan kami ng budget ng ating Pangulo. And then, of course, our legislators. And along the value chain, yun yung kailangan nating ayusin din nga. Sabi nga ni President, naandyan na yung elements. We just need to integrate it. We cluster farms. We provide credit to those who are in need, and I think pagka yun ay na-integrate natin into one system or a framework that can be adopted not only for the rice farmers but also other commodities, baka pwedeng yung framework na yun ay magamit din natin.
Okay. Alvin Baltasar.
Director Glenn, kanina nabanggit niyo po yung tungkol doon sa exportation. Kamusta po yung performance natin as far as exportation is concerned doon sa mga high-value crops like mangoes, avocado, and we heard mukhang South Korea nag-export na rin sa atin eh.
Yeah. Of course, yun nga, nabanggit ko. I think this is the first time, wala pang isang taon, the President opened 3 market access opportunities for our products. Yung durian, almost 500 million or more na ang ating kinikita pesos for this endeavor, for one market only. Yung ating mangga, after 10 years na napahinga for exports sa Australia, we opened that up. Yung ating avocado, just last weekend, yun yan, nakapag-export tayo, we opened that market. That was negotiated for 14 years, and it took really the President, the push of the President, of course, the efforts natin sa department. So, our export industries are still alive. Of course, ang ating superstars dyan, yun nga, yung bananas natin, $1 billion a year, pineapples, coconuts. So, we are continuing to support that. Hopefully, ito, budget season, sana, madagdagan pa kami doon sa aming programa, yun sa high-value crops natin para really we can support kung ano man yung mga na-open nating markets overseas.
Okay. Thank you very much. Pahabol pa? One more. Okay. Jean, go ahead. Jean Mangalus.
Hi, sir. The Pulse Asia survey says that the rice price cap was implemented around the time of their approval rating survey. Do you think it affected the results?
I cannot comment on that one. Ang akin lang, ang masasabi ko dyan, ang ating Pangulo is really committed to serving all. I think he's the president for all, not only for the farmers but also for the consumers. As for the satisfaction ratings, I think makikita naman natin at nararamdaman niya ng mga tao. I think he's the first president who's really going to the grounds, meeting with the people, even sa distribution nga ng bigas, andun siya eh. So I think nararamdaman ng tao ang ating presidente and ang kanyang mga plano at programa. So hopefully, yun nga, ma-reciprocate natin yun. Even for the media, hopefully you can help us, promote the good news, not only yung mga problema natin, but also itong ating mga nagagawa para sa ating mga kababayan.
And to further drive what your message, Director, the favorable results of the program has been reported today by the DA. So it's looking very good.
Yes.
So thank you very much.